it is Ragarath, and I am back. Techtonica and Firehose have released another video today, so I'm going to do my reaction to it as I normally do, and it is entitled Techtonica version 0.1.1 is out. Yes, it is. We are enjoying it. But where is version 0.1.2? Looks like we've got the lovely Lauren today, so let's delve into the video.
What's up, everybody? It's Lauren from Firehose Games, back with another weekly update for Techtonica. In case you missed it, last week we launched 0.1.1, our first quality of life update.
0.1.
We are so stoked to have this in the hands of players. We are so curious to see what you guys think about the rework core composer, in-game metrics especially, which is so exciting that we have in there. Drop a comment if you are stoked on 0.1.1 and let us know your thoughts. And moving on to what's next, because I'm sure that is the number one question everyone is going to be asking right now. 0.1.2, when can we get it and what's going to be in it? Well, I'm going to answer that question for you today. So, first off, when are you going to get it? Our internal timeline is looking like end of October, early November, somewhere in there.
Okay, so
and
we've
we're
got
kind of going to
about
walk you through how
2
exactly we make
months
that
until we
decision in
get
this video,
that.
and talk
So
about what's
plenty
also
of
going
time
to be
to
on
play
the
through
roadmap upcoming.
1.1.
So let's dive into the roadmap first. So scrolling through the roadmap here, you know, you can see quality life update number 1 is out and update number 2. So save slots, we are working on refactoring save slots. They'll kind of be like in folders. So like each game file you have will have all the saves for that one in the same folder.
And please let us
3
rename
belts,
them.
which is exciting,
Please.
and some more optimizations and video and gameplay
We
settings.
definitely need to be able to
Can't really
rename
dive
them.
into those in this video very much because we're not entirely sure what all of those are going to contain, but as soon as we know, we will let you all know. So what can we talk about? So first up is something that has been asked for a zillion times. We are not putting this on the roadmap yet because honestly, we're not 100% sure we're going to be able to do it for 0.1.2. But we're going to try and fix the HBC monorail bug.
Oh.
We're really hoping that this will be in, and we'll definitely let you know before 0.1.2 launches if we'll be able to make it in time or not. But we've set aside some time for some team members to just solely work on that for a bit to see if we can get that fixed in advance. It definitely is something that we moved up way higher in our triage because of your guys' feedback. So thank you guys so much for that feedback.
Okay, so this fix, I think she's talking about the high voltage cables when we connect 2 separate power floors together with the high voltage cable, and you've got a setup of accumulators on one power floor, and you're trying to power the second monorail station from that same set of accumulators. And it doesn't work. The power doesn't transfer for some reason. What you need to do, or what I found I needed to do, was build a second set of accumulators on the second factory floor. So, you know, basically there's no point in having high voltage cables at all. So it'd be good if they can fix this one. That'd be great.
Also going to derail this conversation for a slight second just to talk about your feedback. Every single time one of you guys leaves a suggestion, comments about a bug, leaves a comment on a Steam forum, on Discord, on the feedback forum, I actually make a tally of those comments and pass them along to the team. So the more people comment and request stuff, the more that they see it, the more that it gets bumped up in my chart. Yes, I have a chart. We use metrics. And that feedback really changes the landscape of what we're promoting and what we're working hardest on. You know, we do have things that we're focused on internally and places and directions that we want the game to go. But when we're able to slot in a piece of feedback and we're able to make a change based on what you guys want, it's really satisfying for us, and I'm sure it's satisfying for you as players. So please continue to leave that feedback. Please continue to post it. I check it every single day, and it's really helpful for us. So,
Okay, so yeah, I just want to add to that, guys. You know, this just shows how much Firehose is actually listening to us as well, and seeing where we're having the most problems. There's this excellent back and forth between the devs and ourselves. So yeah, keep it up. As Lauren says, keep on, you know, bringing up what changes you want in the game. They may not get there, but if enough people ask for it, then you never know.
So thank you for that. For this next section of video, I'm going to reference my notes a lot because I actually talked to Lexi. I kind of interviewed her, and Lexi is what I call the timeline overlord. She's our producer. She is the person that decides if we're actually going to do something, if we're actually going to implement something, if we're actually going to spend time on a bug. And so I interviewed her about like how she makes those decisions and what pushes something up forward. So I'm gonna kind of like read some of her answers because I don't want to garble her words, because they're very important. And I think it really speaks to her philosophy on production. Lexi's also gonna be on our stream on Thursday, which is tomorrow if you're watching this video on the day it comes out. So definitely feel free to hop in and ask her questions. She absolutely adores talking about production and will be absolutely ecstatic to talk to you about it. So I'm going to start reading off some answers and you guys can learn about how Lexi does production and timeline planning. Okay, so there are external and internal factors that determine how you plan out a timeline for production and what gets put in. So we're going to start with talking about external factors. What are some of the external factors? Well, first, how often do players need updates to keep playing and stay engaged with the game? Do you need further apart, larger updates with lots of content, or do you need smaller but closer together updates to keep players invested? As of right now, we don't actually have any data to like go over this, so we're kind of going off community cues and kind of guessing right now. So if you have opinions on this or care about when we release updates, obviously we cannot get you base building tomorrow, so don't ask that. But if you care about if you get smaller updates more frequently or larger updates spaced further apart, please let us know in the comments. We are very curious to see what you think.
That's a good question. I think I prefer a mix of both. Myself, I like big updates that fix big things further apart if they're done properly, and smaller updates then in between just to fix little bugs and things like that. Let me know down below. In fact, also don't just let me know, let Firehose know how you prefer it done, because it sounds like they're listening. So jump on in.
A lot of games that have been going for a long time will have a lot of this data to analyze and will know exactly when they should be putting out patches for their players. Another external factor that we take into account is Steam sales and other sales that boost our visibility. So you want to put an update before or around a sale so that you get that extra boost in visibility from the sale. Obviously, we can't always have an update right before a sale, but when we can, it's really nice to boost our visibility. And then you have internal factors. The biggest one is what kind of content are we trying to put into this patch or this update? When you're looking at that, you really need to base this off of team velocity, and you calculate team velocity. It's kind of like the speed at which people can work on things.
I was wondering where she's going with that.
Sounds like so to calculate
chucking them out the window.
Factors that go in. The first are the team members themselves. Some people are team leads, and that means that they also have leads duties to take care of, like external meetings, managing people underneath them on their team, but they also are going to be assigned to stuff themselves. So they have less time to work on what you assign them, and they have less team velocity when it comes to that stuff. Then you have people that take vacations. People need to go out of town. People need to take time off. We really prioritize that, like, life comes first at Firehose, which I really love. But that means that people do take time off, and that your time off should not be planned around stuff for work, because that's just not fair to anyone.
Yeah, and you've got to respect that as well. Myself, living in the UK, we I hear it's different in America, that holidays are kind of frowned on, which to me is weird, because over here it's you kind of have to take your holiday, otherwise your bosses above you get upset, and it's mandated by law that you have to have a certain amount of time off if you worked a certain amount of time. So definitely like the philosophy of having your people come first in a business. Yeah, brilliant.
Because life really does come first. I digress. I will get off my soapbox, but because of that, you have to plan around like when people are taking vacations and time off. Another thing that gets into team velocity is buffer. So Lexi has her rule of thumb where she adds 20% of buffer time onto the timeline that someone says it will take them. So, life happens when it comes to fixing a bug or to implementing a feature. And so when someone tells Lexi, oh, hey, it's going to take this amount of time, she's going to add 20% on. It also changes on how complex the thing is.
Or when you get stuck on a bug that takes you like days to just wrap your head around, when you've given yourself like half a day to find the thing.
If it's a super complex bug like the HVC and monorail, it's going to get more buffer added onto it just because it is very complex. We don't know how to fix it. The same goes for things that are supposed to be really easy, but someone doesn't know how to do it. If someone literally says, this should be really simple and it won't take me a long time, but I've never done it before, you're going to get buffer added onto it just in case. buffer is really, really important because that's what ensures that we aren't pushing back timelines for things. We aren't saying, hey, this is our release date, actually JK, we have to push it back, because we've added a lot of buffer on and planned for that uncertainty so we can push things out on time. I'm also just going to put a caveat in here that like sometimes life happens and you have to push back dates, but we try really, really hard not to do that. So just know that like sometimes that does happen in game dev. Life is chaos. How far in advance do we start working on content is another important question. We start working on content right now. We're working on content that'll be coming out at the end of October, early November. You know, that 0.1.2 patch that I was talking about. But Lexi's goal is to be like 3 to 5 months ahead. So really far in advance. That allows for a lot of communication between teams, a lot of feedback, and to put it through all of Rob's QA testing cycles, which we have a video on if you'd love to watch it. It is very in-depth and really explains QA testing. I think it's a really great video. When we design a feature, we want to be able to talk about it with all of the different disciplines. So we have internal testing and our company play tests together. We all hop into a game and we'll play for an hour or two. And that allows more teams to
How do you stop after an hour or two? I just want to keep going.
Be involved, not just engineering and tech, but design and art and even marketing, to give feedback, because this is a game that's made for all types of players, not just one. So we want to make sure that it is cohesively and holistically fun for everyone involved. So giving us more time to work on that means that we have the ability for everyone to play together, for us to get feedback from a bunch of different people and get more eyes on the game. So the factors that really played into when we can release 0.1.2 to wrap this all together is actually that we have our team summit in October. We really don't want to release a big patch right before we all head on a trip together. So we're going to do it right afterwards. And this also allows our QA to some more time to test and make sure everything's functioning smoothly. And then we'll release it once we're back. We also don't want to release a patch in the wild and then be see a piece and not be able to answer any of your questions. So as time progresses and we get closer to 0.1.2, we're going to start releasing more information on what's going to be in the patch. So definitely keep your eyes peeled. We'll have a lot of info coming for you soon.
Cool. And I'll cover that here for you guys that don't necessarily keep up with what Firehose is doing as well.
And as soon as we can, we'll also be talking about what's on the future horizon. And also, in case you missed it, Joey and I have started doing extra streams on Tuesdays. So we are now streaming some other games just for funsies on Tuesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. And then on Thursdays, I'm going to drop the schedule here.
I can never catch.
We have a lot of fun streams
It's at
planned
the
for you
wrong
with some
time.
of the other team members. So definitely check those out if you are interested in a certain discipline or have specific questions you want to ask about the game.
But yeah, check them out.
Let us know
If
you like these
your
videos.
time
Leave a comment.
zone
We really
matches up,
appreciate you
guys, then check them out.
We love our community so much. I really love being able to share with the team all of the nice things that you guys say. So yeah, keep it coming. All right. Well, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. So guys, that's it about what's coming up in 0.1.2. It sounds like they might be putting some more stuff in. They don't really know how much is going to be in at the moment, but they're hoping for that monorail fix, which will be awesome. Anyway, go and watch the original video as well. I'm just here as a guide to show you that the videos are out there. Make sure that you support the actual Techtonica videos as well. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks all. Bye.